Hey man, how you doing, man?
Oh, dude, I'm pretty good, man. It feels good to be back. We haven't done this in a while. I've been proper busy with my new job and stuff. How have you been?
Yeah, been pretty busy as well. No new job, unfortunately, but hey, have you seen the Batman recently?
Something in the way.
Okay, man, calm the fuck down.
They listen to our podcast on Spotify and YouTube, but what they don't know is that I am the podcast. Something in the way. Does that answer your
What
question?
is what is this? Some X-rated shit? What is this, man?
Listen, the Batman special, okay, I thought I'd do a little bit of a creative intro, but yes, I saw the Batman, and I actually saw it again last night.
I've seen it once, and that was opening night, and that was it.
Oh, what did you think of it, by the way?
Well, I just gotta say that, in my opinion, it is the best and perfect Batman movie.
It is
Sorry, Dark
perfect.
Knight. I'm sorry, Dark Knight, but the Batman takes your place.
The thing is, I was talking to my dad after the screening, and the thing is, you know how,
Shout out to Finn's dad.
shout out to my dad for driving me there and back. Well, technically, I drove there and back. He was just monitoring me because I'm doing my driving lessons in a minute. But, because
What a homie.
we can't really you can't really rank this Batman film because you've got all three Nolan films and you've got this one. And in my opinion, this Batman
And the
film
and the and the Lego Batman movie
and
as
the Lego
well.
Batman, well, okay, Lego Batman at the top, obviously, but it's like you've got the trilogy, the Nolan trilogy, and this one. I can't really, I don't know which one to put higher, and I'm completely fine with that because this Batman film it's just so perfect, and it is,
It's
yeah.
in my with me, even you saying that you don't know what to put higher, it still just shows how good of a film this is.
Yeah, the direction Matt Reeves took, because I think ever since we knew Matt Reeves was even attached to this, we instantly knew
He's
it was
gone
going to
from
be so.
monkeys to bats, man.
Yeah. Oh, he did.
Unbelievable.
What was it though? Did he? No, no. I was going to think he didn't do Rogue One, did he? That was someone else. He did. He went from the Planet of the Apes trilogy, which was just that is just genuinely one of the best trilogies I've ever seen in my entire life. And then you've got the Godzilla film that he made, which I absolutely love. Say what you want about that film, I love it. And
Is that the 2014 one?
2014 one, with Brian Cranston, that one.
Yeah.
I love that film so much, and I think as soon as I knew that he was attached onto this, it's just you just know it's going to be great. You just know his direction is going to be so unique because it's like, for example, when James Gunn was attached onto to Suicide Squad, you instantly knew it was just going to be fantastic, and
Yeah.
and it's just the direction Matt Reeves took, and it was. Remember, it was late 2019, early 2020 when we had like a slow build up of just announcements and reveals and be like, we've got Robert Pattinson as Batman, Zoe Kravitz as
Hmm.
Catwoman, then with like the
And then
little, yeah.
in the middle, I think when was DC fandom? Was it the middle of the year or later on in the year?
I think that was late 2020 when we first got the trailer for it.
Yeah, when that first trailer came out, I think everyone's balls just fucking dropped.
Oh my god, yeah, it was just
It,
that
even
trailer.
for even for the girls, man. Like, damn,
Yeah, all my girlfriends that I knew, they're now boys now. They're now boys after that trailer, and I think
they're one of the homies.
yeah, they became the homie, and it was just that trailer seems ages ago. I think what so
Did it?
well, when was it? It was
It
us.
was late 20. It was late 2020 because at the end of the trailer, the whole with the question marks thing came up. It was like 2021.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's just this film has been just in the making for so long. I mean, it was meant to be in the DCEU. It was meant to be a Batfleck film, and then now Batfleck stepped
So glad it
down,
wasn't.
and then I mean, it's meant to be with like
Although,
Deathstroke.
although, although, even though I say I'm glad it wasn't that the whole Ben Affleck solo Batman movie, that the concept art for that and the still images that we got still looked pretty damn good.
Oh, it looked amazing. Like you see all that Deathstroke concept of him fighting Batfleck, and he's got the suit that kind of looks like the Arkham suit.
Mm.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Do you remember I remember it was roughly first when we were getting into lockdown, and I remember I was thinking, oh, everything's just going to get pushed back and delayed. We're not going to get any like reveals or anything. And then we got, I think it was like the one of like the first days of lockdown. We got that little snippet of the bat suit where you see the chest, and then you get to see the cowl, and it's like dun 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 dun.
Mm.
And once you, it's like because I love the Arkham suit, and I've always really wanted something similar to that in live action. And that suit, it's got to be one of the best Batman suits, and the score as well. You just got, I got chills from it, literal chills.
Normally with me, like with like the main theme for like a movie or a TV show is essentially movies pretty much. How they have this person or this character's theme and they play it like every so often through the movie. I find that a bit, repetitive and a bit, I wouldn't say annoying, but it sort of gets there. This wasn't for me. Like, sorry, hang on, let me rephrase. It wasn't like that for me
Yeah, yeah,
in the
yeah.
Batman. Every time I heard the theme, chills. I had chills throughout the entire film.
It's because the fact that you don't, there's not a lot of superhero reveals that are meant to be like thrilling. Because the way he actually, how Batman showed up, it was very much like a horror movie at times. Because you got the shot of the,
Especially Riddler.
yeah, oh my god, yeah, Riddler. And okay, I'll jump forward a little bit, then we'll hop back into it because I have a lot to say about the Riddler. Paul Dano's Riddler killed it. But the shot where everyone's just like vandalizing stuff, and then you've got people in like masks. Because what's really good is because I love the Arkham games, and you've got all like the different criminals. And like, say for example, you've got like Penguin's goons in the game. They've all got like makeup on.
Yeah, and then you like yeah, and you hear someone go like, "Hey, it's the Batman."
It's the Bat, and it's the fact that it was set on Halloween night, so it makes sense for all these different criminals to wear like costumes and masks and stuff. Because it just Gotham looks like a completely new place. It's like I love the Nolan films, but it's very much just like New York or wherever that's set. It's just very much like a normal city. But this feels like a
Like a
complete,
normal rundown
yeah, it's a completely
city.
different place. It's like I think it's like one of the opening shots because I saw it last night, and there was a shot where it panned down and there's like this big building with like all like screens on it, and it just some of the buildings it goes from normal looking buildings to like gothic, rich looking buildings, and I
Especially like what do you call it? Look, I'm gonna jump ahead even more. Um, oh, it's a spoiler actually. Hang on.
it's been out for a month. I
Actually,
think I
no.
think I'll put it in the title. Spoiler.
Okay.
I'll put it. Yeah, yeah, go on.
Yeah. Spoiler. We're talking about spoilers here. From the funeral for the commissioner in that building.
Oh, do you mean the mayor that they killed? Is that
Yeah,
the?
the man, not
Oh
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
commissioner.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say like, does Gordon die? Yeah, go on.
No. Yeah, and like that sort of building that they're in with like it's like gothic and you know that sort of style
Yeah, it's
compared to like what do you call it? Penguins Club. How it's how do I say it? Like you can tell it's corrupt and there are
yeah,
so many corrupt people inside it and it just feels that way.
yeah. I think what has to do with like the bold because there's a lot of reds and blues in there, and it just makes things look rich. It's like it's just taken straight off a comic book page. Because a lot of times I'd be looking at the shots of Pattinson's Batman and just certain lighting and stuff, and I'm just like, it looks like it's been ripped from the comics and the Arkham games, and
Hmm.
it's just the fact that Matt Reeves has just created this world. It's not just another city. This is Gotham. This is a new place. This is not a city that you've seen before. Because I do like how I do like Burton's Gotham, but it's nice because you haven't really seen Gotham be unique in a while. You know?
Like I like yeah with Tim Burton's Gotham City. It's what do you say? It's more comic-y, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get that. Yeah.
It's more poured out of a comic book
Mm.
compared to like the Batman, Matt Reeves, the Batman. How it's like it looks the same, but it's more. realistic.
Yeah, I do think you can tell that a lot of inspiration comes from the Arkham games, which
Yeah, and even like, because he said, I think it was either he said it or someone else said it, and that there's three comics that are used in this. It's
Long
the
Halloween.
Long
Yeah, yeah,
Halloween,
yeah.
Batman Ego, and then
Was
there was one
was
other.
it year one or two or something like that? I
Year
think
one,
it's got to
yeah,
be one of those
year
ones.
one,
Yeah.
yeah. Batman Year One. And I saw a lot of the three in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about the rest of them. I know a little bit about Long Halloween, but I just love the fact how it's set on Halloween night, and you've got. I just love the phrase where like one of the commissioners says "Happy fucking Halloween" to Batman, and you've got all these people in like masks and stuff. It just, it just makes Gotham just so unique, because it's just
Fucking awesome.
they give people a reason to have all these face paint and masks and stuff, and also going back to what I said about like the theme of Batman, I was like dun 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 dun. I
Mm,
love how because a lot of my nitpicks in some superhero stuff, like in the trailers, because I'll give an example. In Thor Ragnarok, it's just and then it's like Led Zeppelin or something, and you really
yeah.
associate that kind of vibe of the film with Led Zeppelin and that kind of music, and the fact that they use that in the
Also, if,
movie, yeah.
yeah. Also for the listeners who are listening, obviously, that wasn't Zach. That was an actual crow who flew into his room.
Wait, what?
Um,
What did she say?
yeah, yeah. Well, you mentioned Led Zeppelin. A crow flew into your room, and and it made all those noises, and it flew out.
Oh, yeah. What about me going ah?
Yeah,
No, that was me. That was me trying to replicate the flipping the music in the trailer.
yes. Anyway, Batman.
For a second, I'm just like, wait, what? I thought you went about like a crow flew into a room. I'm just like, I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. But
Brandon leads the crow.
and
Anyway,
and yeah, because I like how this actually took a lot of the music from the trailer and put it into the film. And because I love it when they do that, when they put music in the trailer and then they eventually use it for the film, because as someone who's watched the trailers for like, you really associate like the vibe of the film with the music that you hear in
mm,
the trailer. And because I'm really picky on scores, I like, because I'll jump onto real quick on Mando in season 2, because I love how I'm not sure who it was. I think it was someone Ludwig. I can't remember exactly who it was, but he did a great job in Mando season 2, where all like the different scores and things, how like Ahsoka says Yoda wants, you hear a little bit of Yoda's theme, and then it transitions over to like Ahsoka's theme. I like everyone having their own separate theme. I like how Gotham
mm.
has a theme, I like how Batman has a theme, I like Riddler has a theme, and it's just Batman's theme. I remember Michael Giacchino. He is so good at what he does. He went from this film to Spider-Man. He's doing the new Thor. He's doing. I don't know if he's doing Doctor Strange. I think he's doing Doctor Strange as well. And I remember. I think I read something, and he was trying to associate a new Batman theme, because all of them in the past have been like so distinct from one another. Like you've got Bale's, you've got Keaton's, is probably my favorite up until this point, and he probably crafted the best Batman score to date. It is
Mm.
so cinematic, and it's just so Batman. It once you hear it, it's thrilling and it's
Yeah,
epic
like,
at the same time.
don't get me wrong. The Hans Zimmer Nolan verse Batman theme is awesome.
Mm,
But this one just gives me so many chills, and it fits so well.
yeah, it's the fact that it goes from like dun 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 dun, and it slowly builds its way up, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And because I saw it again last night, and because I love my, obviously I think first viewings are my favorite, but on second viewings of movies I like to just sit back and I can just appreciate things a bit more. Like I know where things are going, and I pick up on more things.
Yeah.
Riddler's theme is terrifying.
Hmm.
I can't replicate it with my mouth, but it's like duh, 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 and it's like nails on a chalkboard. It's Oh, it's
Mm.
I love everyone having their own distinct scores. It's fantastic. And
Also, and
Yeah, yeah, go on.
there's one thing that happens at the very end of the movie, which you know about, and I'm sure other people know who've seen it, which I don't know if I should talk about it now. It's just, it's off. It's nothing about a score. It's just something that I just wanted to say before.
Yeah,
It's that before I watched this movie, also spoilers again, but hey, this is a spoiler cast, so if you don't want to hear spoilers, why are you still here? Um, before I watched this, I was like, I would be very annoyed, well, not annoyed, but just disappointed if the Joker shows up in this.
yeah.
He shows up at the end, and I
Mm-hmm.
was very,
But you were happy, did you say?
I was happy to
Yeah,
see him. Like I said, it just fits so well.
yeah. Because listen, I love the Joker, but I think it's time for other Batman villains to kind of get their own thing. But at the same time, it's like you need a Batman to have a Joker, you know?
Mm. And
And
like, I'm, it's sort of reminded me of how, in Batman Begins, how the Joker sort of showed up at the end.
yeah, I it it works well as a tease, as well as finishing off Riddler's arc.
Mm. Even though it may not be finished.
Yeah. Have you seen the oh, what's his name? Barry Keoghan. Have you seen the deleted scene that they put out? I think it was about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yes.
Oh my,
God,
oh,
I
it was
I loved it.
fantastic.
I loved it to bits. It was fantastic, fantastic. But I'm so glad that they
They cut
cut it
it.
out.
Yeah, me too. I'm really happy that they cut it out because while it's a great scene, it wouldn't really fit in the film because I think it takes away from like the tenseness of the Riddler in the film. But at
Mm,
the same time,
exactly.
but at the same time, it is such a good scene because I've seen a few people online saying like, "Oh my god, it's absolutely amazing," and I've seen a few people on like shout out to opinionators on Instagram. Shout out to him. He's saying that he thought it was really good, but he doesn't really feel like it's the Joker. And I that's cool. That's cool. If you don't feel like that's the Joker, that's fine. But I like how different it feels. It feels very much like the Joker, but it's just the way he talks and just the laugh and like the cackle.
You
And
can
yeah,
really see it being like run down, and with the burns and all that.
yeah, like you can tell like that man
Like
could be documented.
his
Yeah,
hair's like falling off, and
because
like the skin and the smile.
yeah,
Oh,
oh my god, because when I first saw it, I wasn't sure if he was wearing like, I'm not sure what, I think it's Death in the Family or something, and one of the comic books. I don't know loads about Batman and DC, but there's a comic book where he cuts someone's face off and he wears it, and judging by the little snippet you get to see of him in the final cut, I wasn't sure if that was a skin he was wearing, someone else's skin on his face, or if it was his skin.
I think it's either that, Death in the Family, or The Killing Joke.
I think it's one of them, yeah. But I wasn't sure if it was actually he was wearing someone else's skin. And in that deleted scene, you can see all the burns and all like the bits of skin flaking off. It looks nasty, but it is cool as hell. I love having you got all these different Jokers come out recently, but like you can't tell me that Barry Keoghan Joker is the exact same as Joaquin Phoenix Joker or
I wouldn't
Jared
say
Leto Joker.
yeah, like he's obviously not the same, but okay, how do I say this? The style is not the same, but the performance they've put towards their character
Hmm.
is phenomenal.
It is fantastic. I think that the closest we'll get to actual Joker from the comics is maybe um
Jack
Jack
Nicholson.
Nicholson. Yes, that his name escaped me for a second, even though I love The Shining. Um, I think that's the closest we'll get to actual comic book Joker. But as long as we
Mm,
get a really menacing villain that is the Joker, I'm fine with all of them being distinct from one another.
exactly.
Yeah. Do you mind if we can like just get into like the actual start of the film and like scenes and stuff? Because I've got a lot to say about the
Yeah,
opening scene. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Thing is, the opening scene was so good. I had a Subway sandwich with me when I was sitting on my sitting, and I went there with Robert actually. I had a Subway sandwich with me,
Shout
and
out to Robbie. How you doing,
shout
bro?
out to Rob. We'll probably get him in soon. But the opening sheet, I was so fixated on just the Riddler because I love my horror movies, and he was very much like Zodiac and like a horror villain. I looked down, my sandwich was gone, not because someone had stolen it, because I had eaten it, but I was so fixated on what was going on, I can't remember the taste of it. I was so fixated on how good it was, I forgot how much
Oh, what do you mean, dude? Riddler crawled through the screen and ate it.
like out of the flipping ring. He crawled out of he crawled out of the screen like the girl out of the ring. But you know the just imagine
So yeah,
that.
somehow you're still alive. But hey, let's just move on.
It's like a parody of the ring, the Riddler. He just eats out and he steals sandwiches from you. But you know, I'm so happy I noticed this. But you know the opening shot of the mayor, because obviously you've seen in the trailers, you've seen that Riddler's definitely going to be in that scene. When it, because it's all dark behind the mayor, you just know that he's going to be there. You just knew he was going to be there. And the moment he stepped out the frame, I'll ask you this: did you see the outline of the Riddler in the dark before, like the TV screen flashed and just showed him the Riddler? Did you see him standing there in the dark?
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you noticed that because I had a feeling that he could be behind him, but I could literally make out an outline of him before the TV flashed, and it's terrifying because it's very much like the Zodiac. Have you ever
I,
seen Zodiac before?
I tensed up.
Yeah,
Like, so I went to go opening. I went to go watch it with my brother and his partner,
mm,
and we got we have like the premium sort of like viewings. How we get you know 2 seats, trays, and all that shit, and like
huh?
hot food and
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
they were sitting next, obviously them two were sitting together in like a set of chairs,
Mm.
but then and then obviously there's the empty row where you can walk down. I was on the other side by myself,
You were by your own.
so
No.
I was just watching it, and I was like front row as well, so just watching it, tensing up. I'm like, oh god, what is gonna happen?
Oh god! Even if I knew that he was gonna be there, I was still tensed up as hell because it's just. Listen, Mike. I love Michael Myers, and he gave me very much like Michael Myers vibe, and he was just standing there, with the heavy breathing, going, and it's just because the thing is, did you notice how the TV it kind of reflected off of his glasses and looked like just white eyes in the dark? I love things like that. It's just these little things that they do in filmmaking, like the little details, like that it reflects off the light, or it reflects off his glasses, and could imply that either that could be eyes or it could be, you know, it's just all these little things they do to make Riddler terrifying, and it just ticks all the boxes. It's just so good. Yeah, that openings. Wait, you still there? Or you just
Yeah,
patiently
yeah, I'm
listening to
still
it?
here.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just that opening scene where you instantly, it's just terrifying, dude. I love it. I love how freaky the Riddler is, and it's just the way Paul Dano gave us such a great performance, and he was all just silent, and he was like the sound of the tape, when he was just heavy breathing, and just with the tape,
Yeah.
and then it cuts to, because a lot of films got to be careful with this, but the fact that it opens Batman up with
A cold open,
a
like a horror movie, cold open.
yeah, a cold open of him, like there's like, oh, what's it called? But you know what I mean, where he's talking over scenes that happen afterwards before you actually see Batman.
Narration.
Yeah, his narration. Yeah, he's narrating it, and oh my god, it's just all quiet, and it's all just like,
Also, just
yeah,
want to point out, at the very start, before we see Riddler in the what do you call it, in the room,
yeah.
when he's like scoping out the place,
Oh yeah,
and it's like daytime and stuff. I legit thought that was Bruce.
I thought that was Bruce.
I'm like, oh, okay, so he's just he's gonna
It was,
keep an eye on it, just
yeah, it was as soon as it cut
if
to,
it any crime, and it's like, oh wait, nope, that's Riddler.
yeah, it was as soon as it cut to that room with that guy, and I was moving from the trailers, I'm just like, okay, Riddler's gonna kill this guy, Riddler's gonna kill this fucking guy. And,
Yeah.
you know, with the whole narration thing, and oh my god, it's just Batman. The fact that you just hear Patterson just going like, "They think they see me in the
You know what
shadows."
reminded me of?
What?
The beginning of Arkham Knight.
Oh my god, yeah, 'cause it's been a while since I played Arkham.
How Jim Gordon is like narrating and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and it's like
and
and
he's like,
like very last scene is like the diner.
"But I am the shadows." I'm like, holy fuck! As soon as I heard that line, oh, you know what I did love is that Batman genuinely feels feared throughout Gotham. And I
Yeah,
think great example of how they did this. You know that guy that comes running out the store and he's got that green horror mask that kind of looks like Oogie Boogie from Night Before Christmas.
yeah.
And he sees like there's like a police light from a helicopter, and he looks. He's not really phased by it. The helicopter leaves, and he sees the bat symbol, and he just looks terrified. And all these different criminals are then looking into the dark because Batman just may or may not be there. But it's the fact that they
Mm.
just Batman could be there, even if Batman's may or may not even be there. They're still terrified of the fact that he could just be there. And then obviously when Batman does show up, you hear his the dun dun. You hear his footsteps before he actually shows up. I love that. I love
It's
that.
and it's like some western how they walk through and the boots click,
Yeah.
clink
Oh
and
my.
shit like
I,
that.
I love how they genuinely made Batman terrifying. I love it. I love it so much. It's just oh my god. What do you think of Patterson as Batman, by the way?
Um, Fucking amazing.
Just all those people saying, "Oh, Twilight. He did Twilight. He's gonna be
Twilight
awful."
Boy, it's Twilight Boy.
It's like, have you seen The Lighthouse?
Have you have you seen The Lighthouse? Have you seen Tenant? Have you seen
Some of the other
that
A24 movies that he's done. Have you seen
the
any?
the yeah.
Yeah, it's just I think it took me a while to convince people, like my dad being like, "Oh my god, Patterson's gonna be Batman." It was just like, oh. But once I showed him The Lighthouse, once I showed him the other A24 movie, I can't. What's the name of that? You know, oh, there's that A24 movie where he's like a thug and he's on the run. I can't remember what it's
But
called.
sort of got like blonde hair.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah,
what you're
yeah,
talking about?
yeah, that
Sort of got
one.
like
Yeah,
blonde hair and a beard.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
that
saw
one.
it before. I just saw the title before. Something like Out of Time, not Out of Time, but
Oh,
like
it's something like that. But once I showed people
I'll
that,
fucking look it up. Keep talking,
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
look it
look
up.
it up. But it was like, as soon as because everyone was just so fixated on Twilight before, but once everyone really started to see The Lighthouse, Tenet, just all these great films that Pattinson's been a
Good
part of.
time.
Yeah, Good Time, yes. And once people see Good Time and
Good
Devil All the
time.
Time, he's genuinely one of the best actors working today. He's phenomenal, and I think it's just if those other performances haven't proved himself that he's a fantastic actor, the Batman definitely has. I'm not seeing any complaints about Batman. Everyone just loves him so much. He's the right amount of gritty. He's the right amount of just vengeance.
Especially for like a year two Batman.
Yeah, I love the fact that he is Batman for like a good 95% of the film.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, you don't get too little Bruce Wayne. You don't get too much Bruce Wayne. It's the right amount of, you know, it's perfectly paced as
It's like
well.
and like the Bruce Wayne scenes are so fantastic as well, especially the one with Alfred like near the end.
Yes.
When Alfred's in the hospital.
Yeah.
And it's just
And
like just the moment they have together when Bruce is like asking Alfred about his parents,
yeah,
about his dad,
you've got a,
the whole mystery.
yeah. I like how, speaking of that actually, you know how a lot of the Wayne families and basically a lot of Batman stuff, they've just been very squeaky clean. It's a big tragedy that they died. They were such great people. How do you think that they made the Waynes not exactly squeaky clean, and that they made some mistakes? What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah, like it's hopefully they'd use this, which we're going to talk about later. But hopefully they do something with the Court of Owls.
Yes, please. That would be fantastic if you do something with the Court of Owls because I love it when you get villains that really get under the hero's skin. You know how you got like the Green Goblin, Spider-Man No Way Home, you've got just other versions of the Joker, and I think the Riddler really got under like the entire city's skin, but the fact that he was really diving into some really personal stuff about Batman, because you've got
Mm.
Bruce who's doing this to do his parents' legacy, and how he's trying to be all great like his father and all that, but what if what he's doing this whole time, his father was actually did some pretty kind of messed up stuff, and the fact that that
Mm.
was like his idol and he's doing this for him, it kind of massive conflict inside of him, and I love that so much.
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely amazing. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, what was I going to say? Yeah, if they do something with the Court of Owls, because you know, Reeves he's been talking a lot about what he'd like to do in the future. I think.
Which we will talk about later as well.
Yes, yes,
What he
yes.
would want to do in the future.
I reckon because I'm pretty sure that Pattinson will want to do more, and I'm pretty sure Reeves will want to do more, and I'm pretty sure they're going to make more. And you've got so many great Batman villains that haven't been used in live action yet fully to their massive potential, which we'll get into later, which I'm pretty excited to talk about. But
Yeah. I've got
um,
a long list of villains I want to be utilized.
oh my, yeah, listen, we're gonna have a flipping field day with that list, my friend. We're gonna be ticking all sorts of boxes. But another thing I loved about this is um, the fight scenes and how they were just because it's a 3 hour film. You don't need to be racing to the finish line. You've got enough time to stay on shots. You've got enough time to do more things and have scenes play out longer. And all these different fight scenes, the camera stays on things for so long. It's not quick cutting. And I'm not to say like I'm not saying I expected quick cutting, but you
It's
know,
mainly being quick in those movies.
yeah, like I love
And
Nolan
just
combat,
the
but
change.
yeah, like I've seen how quick it was in Batman Begins, but the camera it just stays on things for so long. You can just see the choreography just play out, and
Especially the one between Catwoman and him when they first sort of meet.
yeah, there was like what 3 shots? There was
And
like
how
three shots.
I was like dodging them all and shit.
I think my favorite one is I think this was the flipping trailer moment as well for everyone. Like, that's kind of make everyone just shudder. The guy goes, "The hell are you supposed to be?" And he just punches him like 800 times and just smacks him into the ground. I'm vengeance. It was, it was just that, and I just like, okay, the combat in
And
this film
like
is going to be
the
sweet.
continuation afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, just the dramatic he gets up because there's going on to what I said about how the film can just stay on shots longer. You know how the initial crime scene and Batman's just staring at that kid because he knows what it feels like when to lose someone, and the shot on Batman just stays on it for so long, and
Mm.
it's just so oh it's just so good. Oh my goodness. There
Yeah,
were
it was.
I love that. I love that. That's another reason why I love Daredevil so much because the fact that it's not like 6 episodes long, like say, Falcon and Winter Soldier or Loki or something. You've got longer episodes to just flesh out. There's more time for people. Basically, you're not racing to a finish line with things. And big thing I want to talk to you about because I was talking to my dad like, after the screening. Batman is very much known as being the world's greatest detective, and this is really only the
Or is
time.
it?
Yeah, yeah, go on.
I mean, like I'm saying, like it shows that he's using those skills.
Yeah, and it's one of the only times where you really see Batman as the world's greatest detective. And how do you think that they handled all the detective scenes and how Batman was actually figuring things out? And just what did you think of all that?
Extremely well. Extremely, extremely well.
Oh, it was just the fact that you've it's just, Riddler is very much like the Zodiac, and the fact that he leaves all these intricate little clues, and then he figures out the deassembles this cipher into his drive, and then it leads him over to a car with a murder weapon in it, and then how he cuts that guy's thumb off, the Riddler, and then it's attached to
Mm,
a thumb drive, and it's the detective scenes, they're not boring because you've got Riddler's fucked up sense of humor where it's like a thumb drive and there's obviously a little thumb attached to it, and
yeah.
because it leads to some really interesting riddles and clues. And like it's not just like really basic stuff and he finds this and goes to that, but it's like the Riddler's really playing with him, and it's really getting it under everyone's skin because the fact that the
Yeah.
Riddler does so much and you just can't get him, and it's just. And I remember another thing where so I'm not sure if you can remember a lot of this because I only just saw it last night as well. But the thing where it was like URL, and they were trying to figure out what that means. But if you just think about
Yeah.
it, URL, and they're like, oh, just little things like that where
And then
Riddler's
like
just
the
playing with
whole
them.
rat with wings.
Yeah, because that's as an audience member for the first time, I'm just like, right, well, you've got loads of different bird-like characters. You've got Batman, you've got Penguin, you've got Falcone, who, you know what I mean? You're just trying to figure things out.
Mm.
And it's just fantastic because I love all these different things that
Yeah.
the Riddler does, like draws on the walls, and then he goes to this and he finds all this evidence, and then by them tampering with the evidence, it accidentally uploads an email, or then does this, and then they're like, "Oh shit, what have we just done?" And then they gotta go quicker to go do something else. It's great.
Yeah. And how it's like when they have the thumb drive and Gordon like plugs it in and it's just like
Oh, this guy's
and how all the information gets released and it's like coming from him. It's like an oh shit moment.
Yeah, and it's just all these different things that they do. They're very much helping the Riddler at the same
Mm.
time, while they're trying to stop him as well. And
Yeah.
I just love it. I think it's fantastic. Um, what else did I talk about?
I mean,
The
like overall for me, like there wasn't many bad things about this movie. Like there was probably one thing, I guess, and that was it, which was the whole Riddler and his live stream Twitch crew.
I mean, I get that. I
I,
100%
I
get
didn't, I
that.
didn't, I didn't, I didn't mind it at the start. Like I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. I would just be like, oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
that's a thing now. But still,
I'm just
it was
happy.
still
I'm
interesting.
just
Like how he
happy.
has like
Yeah, sorry, go on. I'm interrupting you there.
how he has like a following.
Yeah, and going. You remember what we were saying about the Arkham games? So all the different like the Joker goons. They've got like Joker makeup, and they've got the actual Riddler goons in this, and they're all dressed like the Riddler. They're not just thugs.
Mm,
He's got some weird little secret cult following, and
yeah,
it's scary because one of these people could actually crop up someday, and they have, in the form of Zodiac.
mm.
And
Hence why copycat killers are a thing.
yeah, and probably from this you probably get some. Maybe real life, you'd probably get another Riddler that would probably come from this, which is probably terrifying to think about. That one of these people could actually exist one day.
Yeah, and there'd be a whole fucking lawsuit about it because of the copyright. But hey,
Oh my god, it's yeah. Oh my god,
imagine them in prison, and guess what? You also have to pay this amount of money for copyright as well, buddy.
and he's in his cell going Bruce Wayne. That scene gives me chills, by the way. Where the fact
Oh,
that
when he's yeah,
where he's in Arkham, where I think on second viewing because I was
was
just
it Arkham or was it Blackgate?
it was Arkham. It was definitely, you said like Riddler wants to see you at Arkham, and
Oh,
there's because I picked up on this a bit more when I was watching the second viewing, but the fact that Batman didn't know about the flooding, and Riddler presumably did, and he's just like, oh, you have no idea what's coming. What have you done? And he starts just screaming and sinning, and he's just like, what have you done? And it's the fact that Batman has no idea what the hell he's flipping done just makes
Mm.
it even more terrifying.
I can't wait for this movie to come out on like
Steelbook
disc,
in
so I can.
4K, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna pre-order this on Steelbook. It was just, I'll say this quickly before we go into like what we like to, pardon me, but what we like to see in the future is, I love Batman's arc, and because sometimes it takes me a while to figure out an arc. What I mean by that is like, obviously I go and enjoy Spider-Man No Way Home, and I'm like, I love all of that, and I got to sit back and think about, wait a second, what was exactly his arc, and how does that, you know,
You could generally see the changes from start to finish in the movie.
yeah, how he starts out and he's like a genuinely, he's feared,
How he's hiding in the shadows and stuff like that. But
and
near the end, he's in the light.
yes, thank you, thank you, and it's he's all inspiring fear, and he's just like a source of like fear, and like even the people that he tries to save, they're all terrified of him, but in the end I think it's from when one of the Riddler goons goes, I'm vengeance, and then that's when Batman just kind of slowly looks over at him, and he's just like, okay, I know what I'm doing
Like
wrong.
beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, and dude, that guy, man, Pattinson smacked him like 100 times. If he took his mask off, he would probably look like Barry Keoghan Joker. That probably was him. That probably how they got him into character. They just got I can't speak. Pattinson to just go, da, 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 da. Oh my god, it's brutal, brutal. If he took off his
It
mask, he
is.
would be scarred underneath. But the fact that he just goes, I'm vengeance, and he slowly looks over, and I think is from that he realizes that fear is just inspiring people. So that's when he goes
Mm.
down to help those people to then become a source of hope to make even more of a difference in this city. And I love that arc. I love how he wants to become a hero, and at the end he knows how he wants to become a hero, and slowly he figures out how to become a hero, how to actually make a difference. And I love that. I love it so much. It's just fantastic. Also, Greg Fraser, cinematography, you're amazing. You're absolutely amazing. You're just bravo, bravo. You made the most visually stunning Batman film yet, and I applaud you. You need more work. I would hire him if I had money. But that was the Batman. Have you got anything else you'd like to say on Batman?
Not really, other than I want to watch this every single day.
Same. Even though it was a 3 hour film, it was perfectly paced and feels like two. And I would genuinely just put this in and watch it.
Oh, wait, one more thing.
Oh, okay.
One more thing.
Okay, let me shuffle my
The
chair forward a bit. I'm
fucking
interested.
Batmobile.
Yes. Okay, hang on. Okay, you continue. Let me just drink my tea.
Oh, even like I was one of those people that were like, oh, it's just a muscle car. It's not that great.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I sort of got used to it before the movie came out, watching it and just hearing it rev,
It's like it's
like,
roaring.
oh, chills. I even have chills now just thinking about it.
Because I looked over my dad because I know that he's very big on cars and he loves his car chases and stuff. The moment it goes, it's screaming. It sounds like a scream, and it's just in the dark. And I looked over at my dad, and he looks over at me, and his eyes are all wide. And that entire chase scene, which, by the way, that was very much in camera. They very much knocked over all sorts of cars, and that was just chase scene was so well done. It never looked like it was just set in the studio. It looked like it was they did all that. They launched all those cars. They caused explosions. They did all of that.
Yeah.
It was just fantastic. Overall, I'm gonna say it's one of the best superhero films of all time, and I will stand by that. I will stand by that. That is, we are living in such a great time of superhero films at the minute, and
I will buy that as well, my friend.
it's how do we go from a Spider-Verse film to then like a few months later we get a detective Batman
One of the
story?
one of the one of the greatest fucking perfect Batman movies ever.
Exactly. To then, next month we get a Sam Raimi horror Doctor Strange multiverse movie. Why are we so lucky? To then all the Daredevil like characters
Even
being
like
back.
us having Moon Knight now, which is surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, it's good.
Consistently great content. And then there's Morbius. And then there's Sony.
Yeah, yeah, we won't talk about that. But I think it's that time of the cast where we talk about on what we'd like, on who we'd like to see as a villain in the next Batman movie.
Let's go. Let's do this.
I have a, well, I wouldn't say a long list, but I have a sort of average sized list on who I want to be the villains in the either the Batman 2 or a third film.
Uh-huh. Go on.
All right, Mr. Freeze,
Yes. Okay.
Hush,
Yes.
the Court of Owls,
Uh-huh.
especially Talon,
Mm-hmm.
Clayface,
Mm-hmm.
who else? Professor Pig,
Uh-huh. Yeah, 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 yeah.
who else? Obviously, like the Joker and Riddler again.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Penguin, obviously, he'll be in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's probably more that I'm gotta think of and stuff.
Like
But Hugo Strange as well.
Mad Hatter,
Even yeah,
Two-Face.
man, had a two, especially Two Face. Even like Anarchy.
Yes. It's just the
Like
thing is, you've got so many Batman villains and so many great ones that haven't been fully utilized on the big screen just yet. Like the
mm,
Court of Owls, Mr. Freeze,
even
Hush,
Clayface as well.
Clayface. Yeah, you've got.
Clayface would be good because obviously, like you won't have him like obviously be made of clay and stuff like that, but you can have him be like I guess like a serial killer who like
I
you
mean,
know
Riddler's nothing like the comics, and he's absolutely fantastic in this.
yeah
So I trust Matt Reeves' direction and vision for the future. I mean, each one of those villains you just gave would be a great main villain for 2 or 3, and you've got because the fact that they've even brought up, he said he'd like to maybe do something with Hush one day or Mr. Freeze. Each one of those could easily carry their own film as a core villain like the Riddler. And
like I've got another villain. I just thought of one right now.
go on then.
Calendar Man.
Oh my dude.
It could work because it could be like a film that happens throughout the year of different murders that happen on a specific like day of the year.
That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. I
And
think.
like
Yeah, go on.
and like the very end would be like either Christmas Eve or like New Year's Eve, and that'd be like sort of like Act 3 of him like finding out who it is and sorting it out.
Yeah. Sorry, it's still early for me. Yeah, it's just you've got so many different like possibilities. I think Court of Owls, they will. I think Court of Owls and Mr. Freeze are a given. I'm pretty sure that they're a given at some point, and maybe Hush. And,
Hush, yeah, I'm sure that would
and
do.
obviously they'll do something with
Two-Face,
Joker at some point because based on like the response, they'll do something with Joker. And
that would do something with as well. I'm sure of it.
because I don't know how many Batman
Even
films they're
even
going
if
to
they have
be.
like Harvey Dent as
Yeah, you know what would be
because
really cool?
hey, sorry, because I was just quickly about to say that there is an Arkham series that they're making.
Yes, and there's a Penguin series as well.
Yes. But yeah, what were we gonna say?
I was going to say, I think it would be cool if. I don't know how you'd feel about this, but um, you know how Tom Holland's getting 2 Spider-Man trilogies?
Hmm.
Imagine if they do something like that with Pattinson's Batman. Or would you prefer it just to be like a very grounded.
No, hang on. You're right there because they can do like solo Batman movie, like
Yeah.
for like a solo Batman
And
trilogy,
then you could probably do
and
stuff
then they
with
could have
Robin in
a
there.
they could have like they could have like a a future one, like not too far, like a near future one where like say the first act of the movie would be Bruce Wayne at the Flying Graysons show,
Yeah.
and it happens.
Because, you've got so many Spider-Man stories which they're obviously going to tell. And if there's so many great Batman stories and so many great characters that a trilogy won't fit all of them in. And if they want to do a trilogy, that's fine, that's great. If they want to do two trilogies, that's even better. It just depends on how far they want to go with this. And I just think that this could be such a great opportunity for Batman going forward because you've got such a great creative director, Matt Reeves, in the helm. And
Do you know what would be a good movie, or it would more so maybe be a TV show more than a movie,
mm-hmm,
but they would have to have a budget of a movie.
yeah,
Um, a like Batman thing that's sort of that has inspiration from Arkham Origins.
mm-hmm.
Have you played Arkham Origins?
I've dabbled with the Arkham games. I've played bits of them. I
Okay,
love them all
a
though.
lot of all four Arkham games are fucking amazing. Even Origins. Don't throw shit at me. I'll come at you. um, no, basically, so Arkham Origins is the third Arkham game, but it's not made by the same people who did City, Asylum, and Night.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's a prequel thing to like the games where I think it's like Batman's first year or two
Oh,
maybe,
oh, okay, yeah.
and um, Black Mask, who you'll find out later is the Joker, has put I think it's a $50 million hit on Batman. And then you have villains like Deathstroke, Lady Shiva,
So
um,
this is like the prequel to all the
Penguin.
other Arkham games.
Yeah,
Oh,
you have like,
okay,
you have all these like sort of villains coming after him for a $50 million hit, and he like takes them down and stuff like that.
okay. That would be just the thing is that would be great, and you've got so many other just stories that they can do, and I have so much faith in everything that's going forward. Because you've got because Warner Brothers right now with all their DC properties is just a big schlock of just actor controversy and just they don't know what the hell they're doing, and you just got Matt Reeves just
Hello,
over
Ezra
here.
Miller.
Yeah, the thing is, oh my god, I don't even care about the DCU anymore. Or like all anyone really cares about is just the pants and stuff going forward right now. Warner Brothers, do not no interfere. Leave that alone. Just let Reeves do his thing. Let Reeves get on with what he needs to do. Don't
I
touch
keep
any of
making
that.
I keep making the joke that they keep having Flash news come out every few weeks because they haven't even started filming yet. Like, well, I mean, they have, but
Well,
like
I mean,
they're just pushing along news to not release it.
it was meant to come out in about like 4 months. They pushed it back by like a year and a half. So,
Or it was meant to come out in 2018,
oh, true. I think
four
they've
fucking years
changed it
ago.
so many times. I think based on leaks, they're just like, okay, we need to like change this entire plot again because apparently they're doing something that was like they're gonna make both Justice Leagues no longer canon. They make another universe where there's no Batfleck and Cavill. Like, just I
Do you know
don't know.
what would be interesting, but would absolutely piss nearly everyone off?
What's that?
Say with the Flash, say like with like the movie. Something happens at the end. Ezra Miller's Flash is gone, but Grant Gustin's Flash is there, and he becomes the main
Oh,
DCEU
okay, I
Flash.
love Grant Gustin, but that's like if the MCU just got rid of Tom Holland and they just went, okay, Andrew Garfield's going to be the main Spider-Man going forward in this universe. How would you
No,
feel about that?
it would more so be, um, oh, they just got rid of Tom Holland. Time to get in Drake Bell or any other TV show Spider-Man actor who's done it.
Just I'm not even interested in what the hell's going on at Warner Brothers now. I only really care about Shazam 2 and Batman stuff going forward. I think my perfect
It
Batman
still
movie.
makes me wonder what they're gonna do with Batgirl as well. because Batgirl was supposed to come out after the Flash.
Yeah,
Because wasn't Michael Keaton supposed to be introduced in the Flash, which
yeah,
leads into Batgirl?
yeah.
So what the fuck are they gonna do now?
I ain't got a flipping clue. It's Warner Brothers. They ain't got a flipping clue either. I probably know as much as Warner Brothers, to be honest with you. I know as much as flipping whoever's the higher up.
Don't take this the wrong way, anyone, with your games and shit, but I'm more excited for multiverses than this.
Oh, we should definitely do a multiverses cast.
I'm sure we'll do it later on sometime.
We should, oh, dude, we
When,
should,
when we get more news about it, when we get close to it.
yeah, we should definitely just like a cast of just like Dream roster or something like that. But real quick, I think my dream Batman film would definitely be Mr. Freeze and the Court of Owls because they can definitely tie into something there with like the Court of Owls having an effect on Mr. Freeze, and then maybe Batman's background or something he's done as some sort of connection with the Court of Owls, and then that causes conflict between him and Mr. Freeze, and then just that would just be so good. Just imagine this kind of rich Gotham covered in ice.
I agree with you on that, because what they could do is, for the second movie, have Mr. Freeze in it, and not have him with, with his fucking massive freeze gun, but have him be like a serial killer who like, freezes people or like uses like, ice picks or something like that to kill. And like the third movie could be having Hush. Like they could have two villains, Hush and the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
Hush being sort of like the main villain. He's killing people. See, there's a lot of killing in this. I don't know if they'll do it.
Yeah, you want everyone to be a serial killer in there.
You don't want anyone to be. But, okay, maybe not Mr. Freeze, but with Hush, like, he could be a serial killer who takes pieces of skin off people and, makes his own Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. They've got so much that they can do.
Yeah,
so much.
And then, like, while that's happening, Bruce Wayne, like the real Bruce Wayne and Batman, could be investigating his parents and the Court of Owls mystery sort of thing.
Oh, give me that Court of Owls, baby. That sweet, sweet Court of Owls. Oh my god, there's a massive spider on my desk. Ew. Oh my, hang on. I'm just gonna have to slowly move away. Oh my god, it's huge. Hang on, I'm just gonna put my plastic cup over it. Okay, now I can continue. Yeah. Dude, I can't with spiders. Is there anything else you want to go into?
Really?
Yeah? Do you want to wrap things up?
Although...
Okay.
Actually, yeah. No, don't worry.
Okay.
Dude, something else I can tell you.
It's good to be back. It feels good to be back.
It is good to be back. Hopefully we can continue doing this again. This won't be a one-off thing.
Yeah, it's just because obviously anyone else. I'll just make this quick and why I've had a bit of absence. Because I've got like a 9 to 5 job and it's just exhausting. Like
we're all busy motherfuckers.
Like I'd leave at 6 and I'd get back at like roughly 6:30, and I'm just so tired and there's not really much passion and energy going on. But I'm building it back up. I feel like once I've done this, I'm getting back into the mindset of just podcasting and just talking about things I'm passionate about. So,
for sure.
Yes. We'll get more people on. We'll get Robert on. We'll do all kinds.
Get Robbie back on.
We'll do all kinds of shit. All right. So thank you guys very much for listening, and see you later.
Bye.